Basically, it's just a chance for this community to discuss the Vantreight development proposal. There's a lot of arguments on either side, so what we've done is brought some experts to the table to put the proposal in context so we can all have the proper information to be making our minds up on. And then after they give brief presentations, we'll have a chance for some question and answers and a chance to have some discussion amongst each other to decide, what really is the best plan for this community. So we've got speakers tonight. Dickie Husband is joining us, Carol Pickup and Deborah Curran, and Ian Cameron is our moderator. And I'll turn it over to them right now. Thanks, everyone.
Maybe there's a moment to welcome in the people who are outside and also apologize for the lack of chairs. We had to scramble for the number of chairs we've got. But please, everybody come into the room and come into the sides of the room and come forward so you don't feel that you're stuck in the back of the room.
If there's anyone who is in the back and would like to come up along the sides, you get a better view and you might hear a little better. It doesn't cost any more. All right, well, I would also like to welcome you here tonight. And, thank you very much for coming out. It's a testament to the importance that people see that this issue has arisen or has brought forward. There are a lot of people here tonight. If we had this many people at any of the council meetings, or a quarter of this many people, we'd probably all be a whole lot better off. My name is Ian Cameron. I'm not sure why I'm here. Well, I know I'm here as the MC, but I'm not sure why me. It might be because I'm the president of the Ratepayers and Residents Association of Central Saanich. It may be because in some sort of an attempt at gender equity at the front of the room. Or it may be because they were looking for someone who would run the meeting dictatorially, even if he had to be insufferably rude, in which case my name was a natural fit. The rules tonight are pretty simple. This is not an equal time operation. If there are 50 people who wish to speak in favor and only 2 people speaking against, those 2 do not get as much time as the 50, and vice versa. So what I'm going to do is start off with panelists who each get 10 minutes and give their views. And then, and this is a little unusual, I'm going to ask for questions only. And I want to make sure that everyone who has a question gets a chance to ask it. If you want to make a speech, that'll come. But for the beginning, I want everyone who has a question of the panelists to be able to ask it. Once we've gone around and there are more and more questions, then people can speak their piece. And I see our 4th panelist has in fact arrived. This is Carolyn Harriet. And we really are short of chairs because the panelists don't all get chairs. I'm going to start off with Deborah Curran, who is with Smart Growth BC. And I'm not sure how she won the lottery, but I've been given the order of speakers, and you're up.
Can we ask people to turn off their cell phones so that we don't have that problem?
Oh, please, please turn off cell phones.
And people can come further up here if they would like, because it's harder at the back. I don't like people to feel that they're left out of the whole thing. There's some maps in here if you want something more comfortable.
All right, as people make their way forward, it strikes me I should use this mic. Good evening, everyone. It warms my heart to see so many people who are interested in speaking about land use, because that is what I do every day. My name is Deborah Curran, and I'm a program director with the Environmental Law Centre at the University of Victoria. And for the last over 10 years, I've pretty much focused my professional life, which revolves around law and municipal law, on questions of land use throughout British Columbia and also looking a bit into the United States. So from the perspective that I bring to this conversation is really blowing this question up into a regional context and then evaluating or looking at how the question of building these units on the top of this well, in this particular place, how that fits within the context of your official community plan that is a statement from your community about growth and development over the next 5 years and into the future. So it's a very recent statement that you invested a lot of time and money in as taxpayers as to your vision for how Central Saanich will move forward. So my purpose is to bring a regional perspective and then bring it down to how you see yourselves and how this development fits in with that. And then finally, I'd like to conclude by just making a very general statement about the protection of farmland. So I have seen this proposal referred to in the media as a way of saving a family farm or somehow protecting farmland or farming into the future. And I think that that is a very dangerous discussion to have, to link development proposals with saving farmland, because they really are two very separate questions. And we need to ask, is this an appropriate location for that type and density of development? And that is an entirely separate question of how is it that we as people in the capital region support agriculture, support farmers, and maintain a viable agricultural industry within our region. And I'll talk a little bit about perhaps how we continue on with that discussion of how we support agriculture, because we don't do it very well in this area where we have market failure for the price of farmland. So just to start out, I just wanted to put a few very bare things on the table for those of us who are not very familiar with the development, and there have been quite a few changes over the last year, so I'm not going to put any details forward. I'm simply going to say that at 8410 Wallace Drive, there's an application before the Central Saanich Council. It's a proposal for 57 units on 32 acres. So the intent is to subdivide off a larger parcel, 32 acres for 57 units. And the April 12th staff report said that on average, the parcel size will be about 1/3 of an acre. There is a request to amend the official community plan to change the designation of this 32 acres from agricultural to rural land. And there is also an application for a zoning change to amend the rural estate residential, or RE5, rural 5 zone, to tailor it to this development. And for those of you who aren't so familiar with land use, zoning means what you can use a piece of land for, so whether you can use it for agriculture or rural residential type uses, and how much of that use you can do on the land. So whether you can use it for industrial and what density of the land you can have. The servicing, so the water and sewer will be provided on site. So there will not be at this stage a pipe going out to the property to service that those units. So in a regional context, to put this in a regional context, in 2003, the regional board, which is composed of Central Saanich, a member from Central Saanich, and all of the member municipalities and electoral areas, adopted our regional growth strategy. It is the best one in British Columbia, arguably one of the best ones in North America. And the two principal goals of that are to contain urban areas and to protect the integrity of rural communities. So those are up front, our first two goals under growth management. And the way in which municipalities do that primarily is that they designate urban containment boundaries. There are a variety of different names for them, but they designate urban containment boundaries within their official community plans. And official community plans are local statements about growth and development over the next 5 to 20 years. So Central Saanich, in its very recent 2008 official community plan, has designated your existing settlement areas, so Brentwood Bay and others, as your urban containment boundary. And if you want to change that urban containment boundary to allow urban type development in other areas, you would need to amend your regional context statement in your official community plan, and that might then trigger an amendment to the regional growth strategy. And that regional growth strategy would then go through a regional process. So as you can imagine, it takes more time than if you were simply amending local bylaws such as your official community plan or your zoning bylaw. Now, turning to your official community plan, you perhaps you know, you've got this amazing regional plan here, or we have this amazing regional plan here in the capital region, and you have arguably the best rural official community plan